Hey, what's up guys? So we're going to be taking a look at some newer Yu-Gi-Oh cards coming out in Phantom Rage. Dragmas are getting another fusion boss monster that we're going to have access to. Even though most Dragmas are kind of splashed into other archetypes, they're kind of an anti-meta-ish at the end of the day, sort of a playstyle. We've also got, again, more support for Dragmas, but this one has a lot of potential for potentially OTKs or FTKs, which we'll get into in a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with the first card, which is Dragmatism. Even though you can technically run it in a lot of different decks. So here's the artwork on it. It's an equip card. It's an equip spell. It says that you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect is, if the equipped monster is a Dragma monster, it gains 100 attack times its level, otherwise it loses 200 attack times the number of Dragma monsters you control. The second effect, and the one that's more important, if this card is sent to the graveyard due to the equipped monster being destroyed, you just send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. So, obviously, this can open up the doors for a lot of really cheesy stuff because it doesn't have any restrictions on what this can do other than it's a once per turn. So obviously, Elder Entity in Chest, that's a pop whatever you want. You can go ahead and send with a Herald, search whatever you want for rituals. But then on top of that, you can probably make some use out of other cards that would require a specific card, maybe Miracle Synchro Fusion or something that would ignore the summoning conditions that are required or just require it in the graveyard to proc a certain effect. Or maybe some type of FTK someone will figure out with this card. But I just think anything like Gale Dogra always has potential for these really broken effects. And again, this is just potentially for some of those. I mean, heck, you can run Rockets, maybe pop, Scraps, pop. There's a lot of archetypes that can pop, and then just being able to search out, again, a lot of different things or setting up the graveyard could be pretty huge. But let me know if there's any broken combo with this, because the second part of the effect doesn't say you can't summon the monster, it negates the effect, or whatever the case may be. It could be something to keep an eye out for. Next up, we're going to be checking out the boss monster. So this is the new fusion called the Stigmavore Dragon Brigand. And it's going to be a level 8 Dark Beast Fusion effect monster with 2500 attack and 200 defense points. And its requirements are Nihilus Filius of Albus plus 1 level 8 or higher monster. So we actually can make more things than just the Ash Dragon that we did before. But anyways, you can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first effect is that it cannot be destroyed by battle. The second effect is, while the fusion summon card is on the field, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control with monster effects. The third effect is, during the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can take one TriBrigade monster or one Nihilus Filius of Albus from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. So potentially, you're going to be able to set up. There's a TriBrigade variant that I will cover TriBrigades. I actually have the gameplay already set up, but new cards, they gotta be first in terms of videos. But Tiger King is actually a really good card because it can shut down decks completely, especially when you're trying to summon your smaller monsters. But there are a lot of really cool plays with the TriBrigade archetype, especially when you can mix it in with them. Marfay, the little cute fluffy animals, that can actually be used with it, but I'm curious to see where this goes, because Dragmas are already actually considered meta in the OCG, but it's not really a fusion deck. It's just kind of an anti-meta splashable thing. But next up, I like the name of this card. It's Hashishin. And it says, it looks like an assassin. I don't know why they called it like that. But no, it looks like Vega, if any of you guys actually know who that is from Street Fighter. Anyways, Hashishin, Dragma over here, is a level 8 light spellcaster effect monster with 2000 attack and 1500 defense points. It says you can only use the first, second, and third effects of this card's name, each once per turn. The first effect is, if a Fusion, Synchro, or Exceed, or Link monster is sent to the graveyard, you can just special summon this card from your hand. Easy summon condition. The second part is, if this card is special summoned from the hand, you get to target one Dragma card in your graveyard, except for Hashishin, the Dragma, and add that card to your hand. And the third effect is, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can make all Dragma monsters you control gain 500 attack. So boost up your stats, go ahead and add an extra card. This is definitely going to be a card that I think people will be interested in, as a lot of the Dragmas will be able to go ahead and start sending some stuff to the graveyard to start fueling up. Really fantastic card. And then also, because I haven't talked about Dragmas in a really long time, if you guys want to see the gameplay of kind of how they play, if you guys want to check that out, I will leave that down below in the pinned comment, as I haven't really seen too many people play Dragmas. Right now, everyone's kind of messing around with the Grand Module. If you've played on any Yu-Gi-Oh application, everyone's just obsessed with, of course, that new card that banishes 15 cards, or technically banishes 30 instantly. Next up, though, this is actually something very important. This is a Topologic 0 Boros text update, and this card definitely does see some play in the game. So anyways, it says if you squint hard enough at the distance, pick up the reprint of it in Battles of Legends. There's a new updated card text to match in the OCG. This is actually very, very important. So the current text is once per turn during the standby phase of your next turn after this card was banished by its own effect, special summon this banished card. But the updated text is once per turn during the standby phase of the next turn after this card was banished by its own effect, you just special summon this cards. And they even say right here, in other words, it's now possible to special summon 0 Boros during the standby phase of your opponent's turn. This is actually the difference between winning and losing a game. So very important to keep the update on these. It's not literally errata, it's just like they just kind of messed up. Sometimes with translations they mess up and then they basically fix them. Sometimes they're just like, well, OCG to TCG, completely different rulings. Just ask our boy Swap Frog. But anyways, guys, let me know, guys, what you think of the newer cards down below. And I would love to see if there's some type of cheese with a Dragmatism. I'm sure someone will figure it out. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you are new to the channel here, make sure you guys subscribe and turn on that bell so you don't miss out when we cover this card. I'm sure someone figured out some crazy combo with this. But if you guys want to send me a replay of this combo, I'll give you a shout out. And you can be featured on the channel. Send it in to azneyesreplays@gmail.com or send me a replay via the Discord. Anyways, take care, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.